Okay, we're starting from the Nun Dalid Amid base, the bottom line. So we left the Kohen Gadol. He's finished doing the avoida of the Ketairis. He's finished doing the avoida of the Ketairis, and now he's going to begin to do the Nesinas Dam. He shechted the par a while ago before he did the Ketairis. Someone's been stirring the blood in order that it shouldn't coagulate. So now, not less Adam Shemaras, and the Mishnah said he goes in and between the bottom and he counts achas, and we'll discuss it. And he says he puts it kematzleif. He goes ahead and puts it kematzleif, meaning he doesn't put it directly on the aron. Mochi Rabbi Yehuda Amid Aleph showed nagdana, like you give a person malchus. Rashi quotes person, you start at the top and you work your way down. So that's how they would do it. He would do one like this, and then he would do 7 in a row like this, and it would go dot, working its way down. Tana kashu maza, in a maza ala kapairis, when he would go ahead and sprinkle, he wouldn't sprinkle on the kapairis, ela keneged oivecha shel kapairis. He sprinkled keneged the thickness of the kapairis. It never touched the aron. But let's say here's the kapairis. The top of the aron is called the kapairis, the cover. He would go ahead and sprinkle towards that, and would go down. It wouldn't hit that, but the sprinkling should be towards that. Lamaila and lamata, one lamaila and above lamata. Okay. When he would do the upper one, guys, he put his hands towards the bottom. He'd go like this. This is the upper one, and then the other ones. And when he would kushu masa lamata, the mitzade yodai lamaila, the gav of his hand would be facing upwards, and he'd go like this. So here's achas lamaila and sheva limata. So your hand is facing the opposite direction of the mata and the maila. Minani mili. How do you know you sprinkle in such a way? How do you know you sprinkle on top of the aron? So in order to understand this Gemara, I'm going to put this on the screen. Here's the pasuk mush. It's in Tes Zayin. It's in Tes Zayin. That's two psukim. It says v'lok Yudalin and Tes Vav. V'lokach midam hapar. He takes the blood of the par. V'hiza be'etzpo al pnei kapores kedma, and he sprinkles with his finger on the face of the kaparis towards the east, from the east, I guess. V'lifnei akaparis yazeh, and lifnei akaparis he should sprinkle sheva pavim 7 times. Min hadam be'etzpa'o. So this is the nesina's dam of the par. It clearly states that it should be in front of the kaparis. He should sprinkle and 7 times. The shachar is seir achatas. He's now shechs the seir ashela'am. Vehevi es damoy el mibeis la paroiches. V'asu es damoy kasha asla damapar. He does the same thing with damapar. Key line coming up. V'hiza oso ala kapayres, and he sprinkles it on the kapayres l'fnei kapayres. So, fellas, the two nesinas dam is one is called ala kapayres. That's the one that's done lemaila. The l'fnei kapayres in front of the kapayres, that's the one that's done lemata. So the limud's going to be, the number 7 is not stated by the seir at all. The number 7 is only stated by the par. So we're going to learn out from the par that the nesinas dam in front of the kapayres has to be 7 times. The one that's ala kapayres, that stays by both, it doesn't say how much it is by the par, it does say it by the seir. He's a oso ala kapayres. Oso is mashma once. So that you're going to learn out from the seir the 1, and you're going to learn out the 7 from the par. In addition, you're going to learn out that it's not going to be in top of the kapayres, it's going to be in front of the kapayres. Let's see. So I'm leaving the pasuk here in front of us. You can go back to it as I'm saying. Minani mili. Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov. Amar Rav Zeira. Amakra. V'hiza oso ala kapayres. He should sprinkle it by the dam of seir ala kapayres ulifnei kapayres. Okay, ulifnei kapayres. Lo yomer lemata b'seir. You shouldn't have to say these words, guys. Lifnei kapayres. Once you say v'asu es damai, guys, look at the chart. V'asu es damai kasha asla dama par. And you shouldn't have to say lifnei kapayres. Since it says by the par lifnei kapayres, you know it's lifnei kapayres. You just told me you have to do the same thing as you do to the par. So the words lifnei kapayres are extra. The late sarich, the gama mata, the par, so the gama par. So amakra, visa sel kapayres, lifnei kapayres lo yoymar. lamata b'seir. You don't have to say lefnei akaparis below by the pasuk of the seir. Like tzarech. You know why? The gomer mimata the par. It learns from the mata of the par. So loma nema. Why do we say the words lefnei akaparis? La kushe al lefnei, to make a hekesh between the word al and lefnei. Ma lefnei de lav al, af al de lav al. Yeah, very interesting. It's a mamish Torah shabbat. Guys, look at pasuk tesvav. The words lefnei akaparis is extra. You know why? Because look at pasuk yudalit. It says lefnei akaparis. Why is it extra in tesvav? Because it says what should you do? For us as doma kasha asa ledama par. So bishleim bevihizo isai ala kaparis is not extra because it has to tell me that isai that it's done once. That it doesn't say by the par. It only says by the sayer. But the word lefnei akaparis is extra. Why is it extra? To make a hekesh between lefnei akaparis and al akaparis, the two words that coincide. Just like lefnei akaparis is not al, so to the al is not al. So we're learning from pasuk tesvav that you're not putting directly on, you're only putting in front of. It says the Rabbi, lo yomer l'mayla b'par. Don't say lefnei akaparis above by the par. Pleit sarich the gomer l'mayla d'seya. In other words, don't say al akaparis. Don't say al akaparis. It says over here, guys. Don't say al over here because you can learn it out from the al over here. So lama nemar lakush lifnei la'al ma al mamish af lifnei al mamish. In other words, maybe you sprinkle all of them on top. Says the Mahaimai. How can you say that? You tell me that the lifnei akapiris. Lamata means lifnei akapiris of Seir is to make a hekesh. We need Lamaila de Par for the following. Guys, this is a hekesh. This Lefnei Akaparis is a hekesh. And now that makes Lefnei Akaparis extra over here. Why do we have it extra over here for? What is it extra over here for? To teach me, L'chatana baby Elias ben Yaakov, Tana ben Yaakov, Al Pnei Akaparis Kedma, Zed Binyan Av, that's a Binyan Av that Kol Mokem Shenemar Pnei. It always means the east. If you say it's extra for the hekesh to teach me the opposite svara that you wanted to say, just like al means al, so too lefnei means al. Lakusha lamata say lamayos. What does the lamata say come to teach me? So it must be that it's correct, like we said. Okay, so just to review, guys. Just to review, it says by the par 7 times. It says by here 1 time. We're going to learn the 1 time the par teaches me 7. And the Seir, the one teaches me and just the word Lefnei Akaparis is extra by Seir. And what's it extra for? Lefnei Akaparis is equal to before. Al Akaparis means on top. So what is Lefnei Akaparis? Make a hekesh Lefnei to the Al. Just like the Fnei is not on top, so to the Al is not on top. So therefore we know everything is not in front of the Arin, and none of it is on the Arin. And the lamata means with the direction of your hand. Lamata means your hand is like this. Lamaila means your hand's like this. And lamata, you're putting it like that. And the other one, you're putting it like that. I'm not sure if I just told you it's true. Let's go back over it again. Lamata means lefnei akaparis. No, it means your hand is going downwards. It's going downwards. It means your hand is facing up. It's the opposite. And lamata means lamaila is your hand is facing down. It's the opposite. I'm sorry, I just told you one shot. Says the Gemara. Tan Rabbanan. V'hizo isel akaparis lefnei akaparis lamanu kama lamaila b'seir achas lamata b'seir and yadeya. But I don't know how many in front. Lamaila it says v'hizo isai, so I know 1 again right in front of you. V'hizo isai, there it is. But lamata in the front and yadeya kama. How many done? Nemru damim lamata b'par. It says blood in front of it b'par. V'nemru damim lamata b'seir, and it says lefnei akaparis by the seir. Just like I told you, by par it says clearly, guys. Sheva, take a look at the pasuk. How many times lefnei akaparis? Yazeh sheva pamim. Lefnei akaparis, you should go ahead and do it 7 times. Good. Aflamata b'seya sheva. So too lamata the lefnei akaparis, right, is 7. And that's going to stay, guys. That's going to stay. That limit's going to stay. So it comes out. We learn out the 1 on top from Seir, and the 7 in front that we learn from Par. There's the more klachlu derech su. Let's go the other direction. Nemru damim lamaila b'seir. It says damim lamaila b'seir. That v'nemra damim lemata b'seir. Mala Maila B'Seir Achas, Aflamata B'Seir Achas. In other words, why are you jumping to learn from Par? Why don't you stay within Seir? It says, near Lumi Doime, done in Mata Mimata. I'd rather learn in front of, meaning with Neaka Pires, being done in Mata Mimaila. And I'd rather learn out loud in front of to on top of. Adrabba, done in Gufa Migufo, learn Seir from Seir, being done in Gufa Me'alma. Talmud, therefore the pasuk says clearly, the Asa as Damai, look like Lars say, the Asa as Damai, Kasha Asa, Lidam HaPar. It says clearly, Shein Talmud Loima Kasha Asa, Ma Talmud Loima Kasha Asa, Sheyukol Asi Yosef Shabbos. They should all be equal. They should all be equal. All the hazahs should be equal. Everything should be equal. None should be right. They should all be equal. And seven in front and one on top, and none of them on top means just the direction of your hand, the direction that your hand is going, not the location. Kashem shlamata b'par sheva, kach lamata b'seir sheva. Lamanu kama lamata b'par b'seir sheva l'mayla b'pareni yedea kama b'pareni don sheva l'mayla. Excuse me, I read that wrong. Kashem kach lamata b'seir. Lamanu kama lamata b'par u'b'seir sheva. So I learned out how much by the par and the seir. It's 7. In front of it's 7. Now l'mayla b'pareni yedea. Now, but you do know the answer because you can learn the Hizai Soy. You can learn from the Seir, the Oisei of Seir. L'mayla parani yedea kama b'areni don. Nemru domim l'mayla b'seir v'nemru domim l'mayla b'par. Ma l'mayla b'seir achas because it says the Hizai Soy af l'mayla b'par achas. Okay, oy klach l'derek su. Nemru domim l'mata b'par v'nemru domim l'mayla b'par. Ma l'mata b'par in front of a sheva af l'mayla b'par is sheva. Near l'mi doime don in mayla m'mayla. Let's learn mayla m'mayla. So let's learn the upper direction from par, from the upper direction from Seir, and it's only one. Being done in Ma'il Mimata, not rather than learn out par, and learn out 1 to 7. Adrabah, done in Guf Meguf, would rather learn out par from par, being done in Guf Alma, and then rather than learning out par from Seir. Tamaleimar, the Asa is Dami Kasha Asa, Shein Tamaleim Kasha Asa, Matama Kasha Asa, Shikola Yosef Shava, Kashem Shalamata B'Par Sheva, Kach Lamata B'Seir Sheva. Okay, comes out again. We learn out seven in front of from par. We learn out 1 upwards al from seir. We learn a hekesh to teach me that what al does not mean al mamish, and weiter in Torah and Yerushalayim. Now, so achas v'shtayim, so on and so forth, right? Okay, Tanrabanan. Achas v'achas v'shtayim, achas v'sholosh. This is what we do. Achas v'arba, achas v'chomesh, achas v'sheish, achas v'sheva. Divrei meya. Have you counted down? Nama achas v'achas, shtayim, achas v'achas, shtayim v'achas, sholosh v'achas, arba v'achas, tamesh v'achas, sheish v'achas. He counts down. Sheva v'achas. V'lei pligi, markiasri. Each one. Some people counted up, some people counted down, but each they were mechav for the same thing that you have to count. The Kuliyama Miyo Hazor Rishoyna Tzricha Minyan. The first Hazor needs its own minyan. In Kolachas, with each one. V'achas, my timer. Should make a mistake. The Taisus Shadim seems to learn that if you don't count with each one, it may become nivla and you may make a mistake and end up only doing 6. It's by saying achas and always counting the first one, then achas v'shtayim, achas v'sholosh, you're guaranteeing that one remains separate. Because if you don't say that achas, you may come to make a mistake and include it, and thus you only do 6 hazoros, not 7. So therefore, you always count that one. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Kro, it says it seems to be midaraisa that you have to count. According to Rabbi Loza, it seems to be a svara. According to Rabbi Yochanan, it seems to be a pasuk. It says l'fnei hakaporos yazeh. Shein tamid loyma yazeh umat tamid yazeh limin ala zor rishoyna shetzricha minyan, that you have to count. The first one has to be counted. The word yazeh is extra to teach me you have to count that one. And kolachas, which one? Ve'achas. My benayu, what's the difference between the two? Be pasha. The benayu, the loyman of loyta. You didn't count, you didn't make a mistake. Like Rebbe Lazi, you'd be okay. The whole purpose of counting is a svara. Like Rebbe Yochanan, it's a din daraisa. If you go ahead and in the whole pasha it says choik, and choik is ma'akiv. So therefore, if you wouldn't count, it would not be good. It would not be good. That's the difference between the two. So it says Yotzav Enichu al Kan Azov Sheva Hechel. Now the Gemara goes. Now we're going to go tangentially off into the digression sunset. Mamish, guys, listen to this digression. We said again. Here's the order of things. Par inside the arin, inside between the arin, comes outside, puts it on a stand. Shechs the sayer, comes in, takes the goat, goes inside, sprinkles 7 times in front of the arin. Goes out, puts the par in a stand, takes the sayer, goes inside, puts the sayer down, goes outside, takes the par 7 times in front of the proichus, puts the par down, takes the sayer and does it. It's mashma, there's 2 stands. There's the goat stand and there's the ox stand. That's mashma 2 stands. Rabbi Yehuda said, no, there's only 1 stand. Rabbi Yehuda said there's only 1 stand. The question is, why did Rabbi Yehuda only hold of 1 stand? To facilitate the understanding of this Gemara, I bring you back to one of our favorite Masechtas, Masech Kinim. We said in Masech Shkolim, there were 13 shayfis in the Beis Hamikdash. 6 of them were used for the Nedavos. So says Tikkun Chadoshim, Tikkun Chadatin. One says Kinim, one says Goizle Oilas, right? So what the Kinim, according to the Tanakama, was you put in money to buy a pair of birds. One would be a chatas and one would be an oila. The Goizle Oila was for only carbon oilas. Rabbi Yehuda said they're all for carbon oilas. The difference being the Kinim stand was for Tairim and the Goizle Oila for Bnei Yaina. Rabbi Yehuda said you do not go ahead and have a chatas there. We can't have a chatas there. We'll see that. We'll see why in the Gemara. But what we're bringing this in for is simply why, if Rabbi Yehuda holds, you can list Kinim and Goizle Oila. Why couldn't you list ox stand, a goat stand, right? Why can you list the different stands? Like, well, that's how we're getting into this. Just a total digression. But why Rabbi Yehuda allows the listing of the shayfris, yet he doesn't allow the listing of the. He doesn't like the listing of the stands, the ox stand or the goat stand. Guys, good? Good, you good? You would? You remember that Gemara in Shkolim? Anyone remember the Gemara in Shkolim, that Mishnah in Shkolim? Okay, I'll take that. Your shtika kaida. Okay, anyway, at least I didn't get the bobblehead. You know the bobblehead? Really being like this. You understand? Yeah. Okay, says the word. Tanan Hasam. Rabbi Yehuda there was no shayfis for the kinim of a chatas. Mifnei hataruvos, because they were worried about it getting mixed up. My taruvos, what's the taruvos that you're worried about getting mixed up? Rabbi Yosef, mifnei taruvos chayva b'nedava. You might come to get mixed up a chatas with an oila. Now here's the problem: the chatas oif is done below the chut hasikra, and it's done in a totally different way. It's not. It's just split, but it's you do this. The oila was split in half and it was pushed above the chut hasikra and it was meshed. So it was a totally different avodah. So says Rabbi Yehuda, to facilitate that never happens, they'll never have a pushka where you can possibly go ahead and have a chatas. The chatas, the kohen's going to have to take care of it, the owner's going to have to take care of it. But it's not coming out of a shayf in the Beis Hamikdash. So chaybis nedava, amar le'abaya v'neva trei. Why do you have to worry about a taruvis? Make 2 shayfrais v'nichtav alayu hayde chayva v'hayde nedava. So the chayra listing would help. So after the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda on the days, Rabbi Yehuda less like ksiva. Rabbi Yehuda does not believe ksiva to be a deterrent for not something getting mixed up. He does not believe in that. In other words, if look at the top Rashi, ein somchim al kach. You can't be somach on ksiva. The zimnin de lava datay leyune because ksava. Maybe you'll space out, you'll spaz out, and you won't look. And you'll end up taking a chayva and thinking it's an adava and make it the wrong way and pass the carbon. So according to this, Rabbi Yehuda does not believe one in writing. L'chayro, you have a very good raya from our Mishnah. The fact that he didn't allow an ox stand and a goat stand, you see, he wasn't samech on writing, right? Guys, you good? L'chayro, this is a bigger raya, and that's how we digressed into this. Says the Gemara. That's the raya. The raya that he doesn't tell you kasiva. He says there was not 2 stands. You couldn't write goat. You couldn't write ox. Only 1 to guarantee you won't get mixed up. Says the Gemara, trey my time aloi. What's the reason you don't do 2? You may come to go ahead and mix up dam, the seir, and the ox and the seir. Fred the Gemara never tray. Go ahead, right? And let's see this mix up, guys. It's not Pasha. How you going to mix up over here? Let's see Rashi. Mishum de mischalfe. Iyav tray. If you make two, maniach mizrach haseir al zeh. You'll put the seir in one, the shalpar al zeh, and the par in the other one. Ukishabol lekachas es adam hapar pamayim. You're going to come to take it twice. Sheneschalifloi v'noitel es sheir. You'll end up taking the seir the second time. You'll end up taking the seir. Hilkach chileke elachad. I have a problem with this. He's holding it in his hand. He's doing the par. He's going to come out, put it down. He's going to take the seir. Now he has to come take the par again. Why would he mix up? Why would he mix it up? L'chayra, he's holding one. And there wasn't any time he wasn't holding any that he shouldn't mix up, right? No, I don't know. I don't know how you could possibly take it. I don't know. Okay, anyway, that's what Rashi says. So says the more Vineva trey lift of alayu hide the pava had to say so you won't have to mix it up. Elul Rabbi Yehuda less like Ksiva. We see from here Rabbi Yehuda does not hold Ksiva. Good, he doesn't hold Ksiva. Yes. Now here's going to be the problem. The problems that come from the Shofris, where Rabbi Yehuda did allow for Ksiva, because right. Mesave Sholish Esrei Shofris Vayib Migdash. There were 13 pushkas in the base of Migdash. Vayib Koisten Aleim, and they were written on them following Tiklin Chadatin. Those are new. Remember, I once told you Tiklin is Shkolim, right? Less and tough and Shin are interchangeable. So Tiklin Chadatin, and the word Chadatin, guys, right? Chadoshin, right? Tough is Chadoshin. So Tiklin Chadatin, the Tiklin Asikin, Kini, Goizli Oila, that's 4. Eitzim is 5, Levoin is 6, the Zavla Kaparis is 7. Zavla Kaparis is gold for Klishares. And Shishlan and Davas is 13. Now then the Gemara explains, Tiklin Chadatin, Elush Golam shall call Shan Mashana. This is going to use for the whole year, buying karbanis for the seaboard. Tiklin Atikin, Mishle Shakal Ishtakin, anyone who didn't give it for the past year, Yishkal Shana Abba should give it what for this year. Kinin, Hein Tyrin, Goisli Oila. This is Kinin Hein Tyrin. Guys, right? The Kulin Oilay, still Rabbi Yehuda. Again, as I spoke out, there's machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachamim. Rabbi Yehuda did not hold of Chayv. He has right, they're both Oylays, but the Chayv you have a Tar and Goizli Oilay. So you see over here that he did go ahead, guys, and count, guys. That's the kasha. The kasha is he's being samech on ksiva. He's saying this should be for a Tar. This is a Kinin, and this is Goizli Oilay. So you see, he is Samech on writing. So how can you say he's not Samech on writing? Here you see he is. So we're switching gears, guys. He's not Samech on writing. He's not Samech on writing. The reason why he does not allow a kinim of the chayva is for the following reason. Kiyasar Dimi Omar Ami Marava Gezerim Mishum Chata Shemesa Baleha. Initially, we thought, guys, look at me. Initially, we thought the problem was you're gonna have a switcheroo. Here you're going to bring a chatas as an oiler and oiler as a chatas, and there's two different locales and perform two totally different ways. You can't do that. So therefore he didn't have one. But we're saying now you were soimech on ksiva. So if you're soimech on ksiva, you should be able to do chayva and a chatas and an oiler, not worry about getting mixed up. So we're having charota from that original thought that's what we were worried about. We're not worried about mixing up. The reason why he didn't have a kina, he didn't have chatas, is we're worried that the owner would die. Chata shemesa ba'alecha is azul lamisa. By the way, there's big raid on if you say that halacha mashmisina even by oifis, and here you're even saying it by the money put aside for oifis. In other words, if a woman goes ahead, puts money in the pushka, and that money is for chatos, and then she consequently dies, that's a chata shemesa ba'alecha in the money. So that's what Rabbi Yehuda is worried about. Really, Rabbi Yehuda is saimech on kasiva. The reason he didn't allow an oila, we're going to have to answer up by Yom Kippur why he had two stands. That we're going to answer up tomorrow then. We'll answer up tomorrow why he had two stands, why he only had one stand according to Rabbi Yehuda. If you be samech and ksiva, let's have an ox stand and a goat stand, right? Well, obviously, why he's not worried about ksiva, but obviously there must be a different reason, which we'll see best tomorrow. But today What's the reason why he would not allow a kinim of chatas? And the answer is because the chatas, maybe the owner will die. And if the owner dies, then all the money you're going to have to throw out. All the money you can have. You don't have bittul, guys. There's no bittul because even we say that money is a filu be'elef le'batul. It's a dava chashav. We've spoken out in the past that the dinner of bittul b'shishim is only, there's certain things that are above bittul b'shishim. And one of them is a dava chashav, something that's chashav. Right? A beria, a tichesh or liskabe, they have different halachas about in taruvis. But one of them is a dava chashiv is not batal. So even if you're going to tell me the owner dies, so let's move vatal among all the other coins. You have how many other coins there? It's not going to be batal. Why? Because it's a dava chashiv. Okay, so that's the reason. So it answers up the stira. Really, Yehuda is Samechan Ksiva. He is Samechan Ksiva. But over here, the reason why he will not let you to bring a chayiv, a chatas, has nothing to do with a mix-up. It's maybe there's no mix-up. Maybe the owner is going to die. If the owner dies, you got a problem. Fred the Gemara, Michashinan, you worry about the owner dying, but Tanan, Hashaleach Hataslan in Medina Sayyam, Makriv Maisa Becheska Shukayim. If he sends it from overseas, you bring it with the chazaka that he's still alive. You assume that guy he's still alive. So if he's still alive, then l'chayra. So if you're not chayish, we have a chazaka. The guy's still alive. So therefore, if you put it in the pushka, what are you worried about? So, and for the Gemara, here's what we're worried about. You know he died. You know he died. You know he died. Good. So it comes up with the Gemara with what? With an eitzah. The nivra arba zuzei v'nishadi b'maya. Take 4 zuz, throw it in the water, and say that's hachatas. The one who died. Let's say that's the chatas. V'hanech nishteri, and that will not do all the rest. And for the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda lesle breira. Rabbi Yehuda is not all breira. This is classic breira, guys, right? You're taking the coins, throwing it out, and we say huvra hadavilim afreya. Then in fact, that is the coins of the woman or man who needed them. I'm gonna stop over here. Thank you for listening.